The Now Recording podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. The opinions, beliefs, and statements expressed by our hosts and guests are purely satirical and should not be taken seriously. We strive to create a humorous and lighthearted atmosphere, and any resemblance to real opinions or beliefs is purely coincidental. Listeners and viewers are encouraged to exercise critical thinking and not interpret the content as factual or representative of anyone's actual views. Our goal is to entertain and provoke thought through humor and satire. The Now Recording podcast does not endorse, promote, or condone any particular beliefs or opinions presented on the show. We urge our audience to form their own informed opinions and seek reliable sources for accurate information. By watching or listening to our podcast, you acknowledge and agree to the satirical nature of the content. If you have any concerns or questions about the material presented, please feel free to reach out to us for clarification. Thank you for being part of our comedic journey. And remember, Now Recording is always recording.
Now recording.
Hi, I'm Matt Pitt. This is Now Recording, a special episode. I'm here right now with Core. How you doing, Core?
Fantastic. How are you, Matthew?
Yeah, this is a special two birds, one stone episode of Now Recording. We're doing a member stream, and while we're doing the member stream, we're recording for a Now Recording episode, and no one else could really make it. I tried reaching out to a few people to try and get them in, but it was too short notice, and I totally understand. But I am here with FPS Diesel. What's up, Diesel?
Yo, what's up, Matt?
I think I'm having deja vu right now.
The dual introductions. It's an honor.
Yeah, exactly. So, SuperMega. All right, this has been an ongoing story for what, like a month now?
Probably about a month. Yeah.
It all started with a video from Lex Updog. Who is Lex Updog?
All right, so Lex Updog is a professional e-girl, right? So she's got the OnlyFans. She's also a bit of an artist. I think she was a thumbnail artist or some kind of artist for SuperMega.
Yeah.
But she does that. She's if you've ever seen the picture of like a e-girl like maid sitting in front of a trash can smoking a cigarette, that's her. She's famous for that. That's literally all she's famous for, really.
Yeah, she did. There's this funny clip of Chud Logic being like, "Wait a second, I know her. I've seen the meme. Hi guys, I've seen the meme." And it's just like, and then it's just a picture of Lex Updog sitting outside a trash can, and also her in like a Sonic outfit. I guess
her in a Sonic outfit. Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say autism.
She did say she has autism recently as an excuse for her poor behavior. And then she changed it a few days later and said actually it was diagnosed ADHD.
Okay. So it's like she doesn't know what she has. Like that's pretty typical. Why is it like
Schrodinger's autism, okay?
Yeah. You ever notice that the people that come out with this stuff have like similar personalities in this community or outside these communities? Anime, autism.
Well, I'm just noticing that it's like, I don't know. It's always like this very unconfident, unsure, untouched grass people, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not to talk about another allegation, but there's some like Newgrounds artist one, and much like the SuperMega stuff, it's like a first-time relationship, and they didn't understand like sexual efficacy or like the ability to talk about sexual situations or how to have good sex.
Yeah. So, all right. So to paint the picture, she does this video where she goes into her allegations, which one of those allegations was, what's the guy's name?
Don DRR or something.
Don DRR. Okay.
Yeah.
So they meet up one night during the what was it, the fight, right? Did they meet up after the fight?
Okay. So here's what happened, right? Lex describes them as having an e-relationship. Don and her dated on the internet for a long time, and he comes over to hang out with her at the Super Megaplex, which is the residential home turned office that SuperMega uses to make content in.
Yeah.
And while they're there, this is their first time meeting in person. They get intimate. Now, Don claims that he was receiving oral pushed down on her head. And then after she was like, stop, no, don't do that, he stopped. And then she claims that he basically forced her to give head and would not stop until he climaxed, basically.
Wow, is that what she's claiming?
Yes.
And he's claiming that he stopped immediately after she said no.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a he said, she said situation. Now, that is one element of the story, but the majority of the video is about how SuperMega tried to like sweep this up, right? Damn it, D-Max, come on.
I always forget. I keep on forgetting that's a thing. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, hi, D-Max.
Hey guys. Sorry, I was preparing for a hurricane. What's up?
Yeah, no problem. Are you doing okay with the hurricane? Everything good?
Oh yeah. Just
good.
last minute stuff.
Are you taking care of your PC?
You know it.
Hell yeah. So, all right. So that's what the accusation was, that SuperMega was sweeping up for Dawn.
So basically, well, okay, it's kind of like the essay allegation happens, and then Lex goes on for the next hour and a half, because it only takes them about a half hour for 2-hour long expose.
Yeah.
She goes on for the next hour and a half, chronicling how SuperMega were mean to her, but also didn't take the essay seriously. Sorta, kinda. That kind of just becomes background noise. Like, the further I got into this, the less the concept of like essay was even part of the discussion.
Really? So like the it's almost like the essay was just kind of like in the background, right?
Well, it was the smoking gun to allow a bunch of people to air their shit about SuperMega. That's what it was. Right.
And like, so it wasn't just all right. So this is what I remember from the story, is that she was living at the SuperMega office with her friend, and they were all living in that office. And
okay. Yeah. Yes, they were basically living rent free in the SuperMegaplex. And also, before I even get to that, I need to describe some of the relationship between Dawn, Lex,
Okay.
and everything else, right?
Okay.
So they were dating online, right? But
Right.
Lex is also poly, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there,
typical.
while she was dating Dawn, there was
Atypical.
another boyfriend who was present in the relationship currently. Then that boyfriend gets dumped, right? And Dawn gets brought in. And then a little later, the guy who was living at the SuperMegaplex, Rav, shows up. Now, I don't know if they're in a relationship or were ever in a relationship, but it does kind of, you know, when people talk about like friendly about people, and it kind of seems like they're in a relationship, right? Without saying it. That's what it felt like. And then Dawn was out of the picture right around the time that Ethan showed up, which is the current boyfriend. So, I mean, it kind of seems like she has a revolving polyamorous door of mid-ugly men coming in.
Right. So what was the date of the Dawn stuff, by the way? Like what not the exact date, but what year, like what era, like 2021, right?
2021, 2022, somewhere around there.
Yeah, okay. And so all that stuff with Dawn happens. She approaches the SuperMega guys about it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so what happens there?
Then the SuperMega guys ask her questions about what happened, which is a reasonable thing to do, but they probably should have HR. Either way, they asked her a bunch of questions, and she felt that was wrong of them to do. And then ultimately, Matt and Ryan, the SuperMega fellas, didn't fire Don. They let Don go because he was a contract worker, so they just didn't renew his contract and then didn't hire him again and cut off contact.
So they cut ties with Don, fired, let him go, didn't hire him again, didn't associate with him ever again.
Yes.
So you would think in that situation that's doing the right thing, right?
Yeah, but Lex wanted them to go on their public company accounts and say that we have let go of the guy who draws our thumbnails because he SA'd someone.
Wait. She wanted them to make her story public?
She didn't want her to be public, but she wanted that to be out there. She wanted them to do more, and that is the example she gave in her video, despite also not wanting it public. She says both things.
But when you're dealing with a situation like that, when it comes to, like, first of all, you need an HR department for stuff like this. But when you're dealing with stuff like that, it's better to keep it, not only quiet. Keeping it quiet doesn't just benefit the accused, right? It benefits the accuser because this starts. It can start so much drama, it can start so many issues, and it can spiral into something you can't control. So I don't see anything malicious in that sense. Like, could Lex Updog make the argument like, well, they were trying to hide the situation because they didn't want to make themselves look bad and they didn't want to diminish their brand. Okay, fair play. But at the same time, it's still like some sort of like, it doesn't mean that he's trying to like disregard her story in general. I feel like you can handle stuff behind the scenes without having to make a public spectacle with it, and I feel like that would have made it a public spectacle.
It would have. And also, when you use your company platform to share details like that, you open yourself up to a thing called a lawsuit.
Yeah. No, that's exactly true. Don could be like, wait a second, SuperMega, that's not true. Here you go. I'm suing you now. Like, I think that would be something, like when a big company speaks out like that and they make that sort of accusation without any sort of evidence to back it up. That's not a good idea. So that's actually smart. But
yeah, but Don did something, maybe allegedly, who knows? I don't know. He's definitely some weird Discord cringe Redditor, but yeah, they couldn't have done anything like that.
Yeah. So her whole thing is like they wanted to benefit their brand. So they pretty much just kind of like kept it behind the scenes. She's mad at that. But another thing that happens is after she puts out this video, people come out of the woodwork to attack SuperMega, right?
Yeah.
Like who all comes out?
Okay, so there's all the homies that are around Lex, right? So Lex's boyfriend, Ethan, is online, who is this fat, ugly coomer of a man. There is Leighton Stollard, who is the graphic designer at SuperMega and was let go for being a dysfunctional loser. Let's see.
I feel like
what
they would
else?
have no staff if they did that for the amount of people that they actually have that are like that, It would just be like complete and total fleshing of the entire team.
Yeah.
Really.
So when did this whole thing? When did all these people started coming out? I know that what's the dude, the gay guy's name?
Leighton.
Leighton, he came out with this fucking stream. Was it a stream or was it a video?
It was like a 3-hour stream of him ranting and crying and spilling all of his guts about his life, basically.
Yeah, he tries to go for the jugular in a sense that he really wanted to take down SuperMega. All sorts of accusations. I think he accused one of the SuperMega people of misgendering their own loved one.
Yeah, and then it turned out they were gender fluid, so he did.
Yeah, he also accused them of making jokes that he was not comfortable with, and then it would be later revealed that not only was he comfortable with the jokes, he actually was like making the jokes, meaning he would walk into the room with his penis out, stuff like that. He would initiate a lot of these jokes, right?
Yeah.
So, this is the thing, is like being aware of like the SuperMega people, and I'm sorry because I don't know what's been talked about. I apologize, guys. I don't mean to come in half baked, but from what I understand about them, that crew, like Game Grumps people and like all of them, like after they split off and all that, like they all make jokes like that. They all do that kind of thing, and it's not like it's just weird to me that like now it's like all of a sudden a problem, because I guarantee you, like if anybody who was working there knew ahead of time going into it that that's what these people are about, unless they were completely and totally new, fresh people,
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these allegations are like what?
I'm so in the dark on this because like I never kept up with YouTube the way a lot of people in the community have, and I don't know these people that well. So it's just like every time someone's accused of something, I'm like, who the fuck are these people? So who are SuperMega? Like how big are they in the grand scheme of things as YouTubers?
The only thing I know about them, to be fair, myself, is the boxing. And wasn't one of the guys in SuperMega in boxing?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, Matt Box Dad, I think. Is that his name?
Yeah, he lost.
And he lost, so SuperMega, they were a Let's Play. They're Let's Players. They rose to prominence. I think they had their own channel with another guy who was like the founding member, and then I think he died tragically. And eventually they ended up hooking up and becoming the editors for Game Grumps, which is another Let's Play, huge, big time Let's Play, I guess, company at that point. And then they eventually kind of just pulled out of that. because you remember too, like this isn't even the first like thing like drama that SuperMega has been implicated this year. Remember there was the ding dong thing that happened like earlier on in the year.
Oh, is that part of SuperMega?
That was part of, well, yeah, it was related to that because a lot of that stuff was happening while Oni Plays, which is another Let's Play thing that was like kind of like underneath Game Grumps, you could say, for a minute, but it also split off, ended up being its own thing. So like all of these people were were at one point working in the same office in California somewhere.
So all these people split off from Game Grumps, right?
It's not really that cut and dry because like Oni Plays is its own thing and SuperMega was its own thing before Game Grumps. It's not like they were created by Game Grumps. They were like, they basically got umbrellaed underneath that and they all used the same studio and they were all kind of freelancing is what I understand. But it was like a legit company. Like it was like a legit actual, like they had PR, HR, like all that stuff. Like it was corporate.
The way I could compare it is because I don't know anything about Game Grumps. Is I know a lot about Achievement Hunter, and they had a bunch of like
it's basically like that
production other companies are underneath them as well that did their own YouTube channels and stuff. So okay, I got you.
There's a lot of stuff there. It can go. I mean, I can go back forever about it, but the long and short of it just is that like Aaron Hansen, who's like the current person for Game Grumps, he's like the big top dog, whatever, Ego Raptor. Actually, funny enough, that's the guy that Mitch has on his hat, you know, Ego Raptor, making Ego Raptor animate again, that guy. He's the guy who kind of like found a lot of these people and brought them all in, to my understanding, and just liked them, knew a lot of them kind of from time on like Newgrounds and sites like that. So that's why a lot of these people are kind of like weird, like they're art weirdos, basically. SuperMega was kind of like the derivative of that. They were like Let's Players who were just like within that sphere and they were like, hey, come on in, edit for us. You know, if you edit for us, you can also use our studio and we'll promote your stuff and maybe you'll come on some of our shows and whatever. But they were always weird. And the thing is like because like I said, I don't want to go back, all the way back, but there's like a whole fucking drama too. It would actually be a really great video one day if somebody laid out all of the dramas of things that were like surrounding Game Grumps. Because like you go back even to like when JonTron was on Game Grumps like, and the way that whole like things like kind of shaked out, there are pretty good videos that are out there where they explain like how that whole thing worked. And basically what it was that like there was just a lot of harassment and a lot of like honestly bullying that was happening behind the scenes. People wanted to take creative directions. There was like a huge fight, all this crap. It was like Aaron Hansen's wife was making fun of people and like doing shit that she shouldn't have been doing because like she really wasn't a content creator at that point and like all this type of shit, right? And it eventually gets all the way to the SuperMega drama stuff, and I'm not surprised by any of it at this point because they're all degens. They've all been exposed multiple times about it.
Sounds like a video up your alley, D-Max. That could be your return.
Yeah, one day.
Time on a Game Grumps.
Not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
I thought your return was when you finally make that gay film.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, that's also still in the works. Yeah.
By the way, that's not derogatory, YouTube. He's literally making a gay film.
That's actually true. Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
D-Max, do you know anything about Lex Updog at all?
No.
Okay. Like that's the confusing part about the story is that this OnlyFans girl who was just was she orbiting the community, Diesel?
So she had been like a fan turned friend. I mean, let's be real. It's a woman on the internet. It's a woman on the internet. Fucking nerdy dudes are always gonna bring the woman in. It's gonna happen. But yeah, no, Leighton was friends with Lex at some point. I don't know if it's before or after kind of thing. Yeah, Leighton wanted Lex as a co-host on a podcast where Leighton interviews OnlyFans women.
Oh, I haven't heard that idea before.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, I just thought of something. I was sorry, kind of unrelated, but like, remember the Just Stop stuff?
Yes.
That was also related to SuperMega.
Oh, shit.
How?
Like that. Like, how, what do you mean how? Well, like, it was literally the guy. It was literally the people. Like, it was because the connection was from Oni Plays. They were all together. Like, all of these people knew each other.
LS Mark, the fucking Veronica slept with Rice Pirate, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Rice Pirate was part of.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the entire compendium of this timeline would be very interesting to look at. Because it's like, when did certain things happen? Like, when are these events? Like, I don't know if they're necessarily, like, wholly, like, related. But it's just like the sheer quantity of these types of things that have been coming out. And this is just this year. There have been other shit that's happened like years previously from this people. So
what about like the other guy in that they're all Newgrounds royalty, right? So it's like
pretty much
this fucking stamper who used to be really successful voice actor.
Man,
and now he's
what
like
a
just
fall from
doing
grace.
fucking coke and saying the N-word in the middle of the desert.
I love Stamper to death. It drives me nuts because that guy's content was fucking amazing, but like that guy is nuts.
Is it possible that that whole community is insane?
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think so. Like that's what I stopped watching that content a while ago because I just was sick and tired of it. It was like there was like slow drips of like little things. Like there was an allegation, and I think it ended up kind of being bogus from what I remember. Of like Danny Sexbang, who's the other Game Grump beside Aaron. Like there was allegations that he was like groping fans or something at like a meet and greet, but I don't know, that was kind of like very muddy stuff. Like there's been all sorts of weird shit like surrounding them that has like come and like ebbed and flowed throughout like, you know, drama or whatever, but they've just skated by because they actually have like a decent amount of really good connections. They're in this weird kind of spot on YouTube where they've been establishment, like they're like part of that, like the YouTube core, but they're also like disconnected from it too. So it's like I think that they just get a lot of favors, and that's why they can kind of like just skirt out of things so easily. It's like nobody's really looking there, you know?
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's almost like this whole ecosystem of just crazy people that like I didn't know. I thought like I thought the Just Stop stuff was about cartoons, and then like so this is. So it's
because they all do
like
cartoons.
circling.
Yeah, they're all animators. That's the deal. Like that's what like because what was the name of that? I can't remember the name of the woman for the LS Mark stuff. Was that
Jelly?
Smokey. Smokey was the one who was like the two-timing bitch, and then Veronica was the one that LS Mark married.
Veronica has slept. I want to see like a chart of who it is that Veronica's been with because she's been with like everybody. That like I wonder. She honestly, if you wanted to interview somebody that probably knew everything, fucking Veronica. I bet you dollars to donuts. Yeah,
that's. I mean, I wish we could. I don't think she likes us though.
No, I don't think she would. And also too, I would not want to talk to Veronica. Like she would know, but
yeah. Well, all right. So Lex Updog does all this stuff, does the Don thing, does the video. Leighton comes out with his weird accusations. And it's a pile on to SuperMega to the point where they lose. How many subscribers did they lose? 60,000?
They were about to hit 1 million, and then they dropped under quite a bit.
Jeez. So like completely deflated their channel. Because when you lose subs like that, you kind of get taken out of the algorithm, right?
You get taken out of the algorithm. You get screwed by the system when that happens. It's humongously detrimental to the health of a channel.
And while that is going on, I don't know. I guess Lex Updog's boyfriend has a stream with Lex Updog where they celebrate the numbers going down. Right?
Yeah. So they get high and they do a pack watch, and then Ethan's rat face is sitting there, and then brings out Lex like some fucking trophy.
Dude, and they're celebrating, like they're putting their arms up in the air, they're having a good time, they're enjoying this. It doesn't seem like accountability. It does not seem like that's what they wanted.
Oh, and don't forget that Ethan is best mates with Nick is Not Green, who did a video on it and would direct people from his stream to Nick's video. And Nick is a friend and band member with Ethan is Online. They have a comedy band called Queef Jerky, by the way. So
what the fuck is wrong? Dude, Nick is Not Green is the most, hey, don't talk about it like that type of guy I've ever seen. Like, he's just fucking like doing all these like male feminist stuff. Like, hey, you tell him, Sheila, you get your accountability, girl. Meanwhile, I guarantee you this guy is a freaking weasel.
No, these people, I'm telling you, I know these people. I've watched them for years. These people are the stereotypical male feminist. Like these people, like when you think of like the sleaziest dirtbag who just says that shit just so that he can get in women's pants, that's what a lot of these people are.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Sorry. So I just was curious. I looked up their Social Blade. Yeah, the final number here from like a couple weeks ago was 55,000 subscribers lost, and they're actually trending down. So they're losing like almost 3K subs a week.
Shit, man.
They're fucked. They're fucked.
It just destroyed everything. Wow, it is crazy how one little fucking story can just
it's not, but that's what I'm
like
saying.
This.
No, but that's what I'm saying is I think people within the fandom are thinking the same thing that I am thinking, which is this keeps happening. And it's like at some point, even if none of these allegations are true, at some point, when do you stop and go, listen, not all of there's no way all of these things just happen to happen. You know, this can't all just be a coincidence and like an unfortunate situation for SuperMega. They're constantly in the middle of all of this shit. So they've got it. There's got to be some sort of problem there.
Because none of them get laid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm just saying, like, this specific story, like that, like this whole thing, just it blew up to this massive proportion that I don't know if I agree with.
Okay, so some people think that there's a gay op here, right? And then some people think that, you know, it was just like when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
I used to be in the when it rains, it pours camp, but now I'm in the gay op camp because it's just too many.
So you think
linked up people?
You think it was like a manipulative thing where like, all right, Lex, you're going to come out with the accusations, okay? You're going to tell your story, okay? Then we're going to come out with our stories. Leighton's going to do a stream, all right? And then we're going to watch the building fall. You think that's what happened?
Well, okay, let me paint a picture for you, right? So Lex, Leighton, and all the people, so Ethan and Nick, right? They're all homies in some regard, right? Leighton is friends with Ethan. Ethan spends a lot of time with Nick. Ethan is also dating Lex, right? Leighton and all of them, they'd go out to like a social function in California because that's where they are, right? And I also know Leighton.
Oh shit! Yeah,
okay.
you know Leighton.
Yeah. So Leighton's the kind of guy. He's very like wears his heart on his sleeve type guy, right? High all the time. So he'd be talking about how he was let go from SuperMega and how he's mad that he put in so much work. And this other guy at the place, Jim, who's a producer, doesn't do work. And all he does is tell people what to do, despite that's what a producer does.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he would tell these stories to these people. And, you know, somebody tells you a story of how they were wronged. If you're an empathetic person, you're like, oh, man, I can't believe that happened to you. You know, maybe you start to get a little riled up about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, they're all hanging out together. They go, okay, well, fucking, it's time to speak about this. It's ridiculous that they've been getting away with it so long, right? So they feel righteous about it. They don't need to have a group chat. They're in the, you know, general vicinity of each other pretty frequently, right? But nobody knew that Leighton's stream was going to be so bad that they would need to distance themselves. So now Ethan and Nick and Lex all started to distance themselves from Leighton.
Yeah, exactly. Because so it's Matt. Matt did the first video, right, where he came, where they did they basically talked about all this stuff, right? He did the first one because there was two videos, right?
Yeah. So there was Ryan who basically just addressed the friend who unalived themselves.
Yeah.
And then Matt had the receipts.
Yeah, did the longer video, had all these receipts, kind of showed that Leighton was basically lying or misrepresenting a lot of things. And the way I kind of see it is this kind of reminds me of the Smeef stuff in the sense that everyone in this story, is very immature on how they handle stuff like this, and everything gets twisted, and this one little thing turns into this thing, and then this turns into a cover-up act, and then now you got this whole thing where the channel's imploding because people do not know how to handle adult stuff like this, like adult situations.
You know, Matt, funny detail here. Remember when I told you about Smeef's name came from Game Grumps?
Oh. So the connection continues. Yeah, I guarantee you, dude. I guarantee you, all these people are fans. Mango, Smeef.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I was a fan. Like, it's just like, no, it's a big blanket. Like, they're a pretty big. Like, this is a sizable like community over there.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So what does Leighton do after the stream? Does he still continue to push, or does he back off?
So Leighton has the stream, right? And Leighton also was posting on social media, basically repeating the story at varying levels of complexity, right? He's also part of like an anti-community, right? So like the anti-Onision or like the anti-Game Grumps fans people. So he'd be going around molding about that. And basically he was so dysfunctional, that's when everybody started to be like, actually, Leighton went too far.
Yeah, because I saw something. The Lex person put something in the Discord like, yeah, Leighton has BPD and it's something, and he's going off and he's going too far, or she said something like that.
She said something like that, and Leighton also repeatedly stated how mentally unwell he was on the stream and how he has BPD and
oh boy,
how he's gay and life was hard.
Oh man. Well,
another thing I just thought of, because this is what Matt said, is that Lex Updog was completely fine with SuperMega after the allegations, after talking about it, after all this stuff happened, everything was fine. I think even after leaving the office, everything was fine until Leighton was fired. Right?
Yes.
That's what blew everything up. Leighton leaves, then everybody just comes out like sharks. You smell blood. And they attack the brand. They attack everything they've ever worked for. How long does this SuperMega go back to? What year?
I don't know when they originally started, but they probably joined Game Grumps in like, I don't know, 2013, something like that. So they rose to prominence probably 2014, 2015, something like that. So
all that hard work from all the way back, we're talking about almost a decade, more than a decade maybe. All that is now being destroyed because of this guy who deserved to be fired, right? He wasn't doing any work, right? He was slacking, right?
Leighton was slacking?
Yeah.
I don't know if Leighton was slacking. I mean, the guy would get high like all the fucking time. He probably put in work, but Leighton's allegation was that their producer Jim doesn't work. Which Jim was also brought up by Lex as also being someone who inappropriately touched her. So
yeah, but there's messages of Leighton saying I think I should leave because of my something like that. Like I think I should leave at this point because I'm not happy with what I'm doing or something. Oh, like what I'm doing with the company. I think I should just leave because I'm not happy with my performance or something like that.
Oh yeah. There was something like that, and then also they started to. I don't know. Leighton wanted his coworkers to also be his friends, and I don't know about you, but when I go to work, it's work, and they're not my friends. But he wanted everybody. He wanted to be a part of like a family or whatever, and so he got like pissed when he wasn't invited to a fucking birthday party, and then invited himself to the birthday party.
Yeah. All right. So what exactly? So what exactly happens after Matt and the rest of SuperMega come out?
So after the SuperMega boys respond to the allegations, people start to get a little so the initial videos are received pretty well. I should also mention Jim responded, and his response was pretty, brutal, right? Because Lex also accused him of SA, and he was still with the company after. But basically, he describes, you consented to being kissed by me. And also, I was a victim of SA myself.
Yeah. What? So who's Jim?
Okay, Jim is a producer at SuperMega. Okay. He would manage different things, manage projects. He was a behind-the-scenes type guy.
I want to say too that originally he did start at Game Grumps. I think that's true because at the very least I've heard Jim before. I can't remember exactly where, but I think he might have been a producer.
And what was the accusation?
The accusation, according to Lex, is that Jim kissed her when they were at a party and they were both drunk.
And that she didn't give consent?
That she didn't give consent.
Okay, and then he did a video saying there was consent.
He was like not only was there consent, it was verbal affirmative consent.
Oh my god.
So all right, so that's one thing. Now these are both testimonies. Were there any proof?
There was no proof either way. But Jim's video is very convincing because again he opens in the video saying, I never wanted to make her feel like this. I too am a victim of SA. So
yeah,
and the way he just did it, it was a shocker.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, so all these people are coming out. Is there any reaction from Lex Updog at all about them telling their side of the story?
No, Lex went to go take a sabbatical, and then she posted a picture of her at the beach. So
typical. They run away. They run away when it's time to really fight. If you really want to fight for it, is that now's the time? And they just
by now, Twink is not green has taken over as the
that's true
fighter, and he responded basically trying to steel man Lex and Leighton, despite Matt and Ryan having a pretty good video. He would do really weird cringe shit by talking about anyway shit. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, help me out here.
Yeah. So Lex took a sabbatical and just basically ignored everything, right?
Went to the beach, had a nice dip in the water.
Went to the beach, said she had autism, Meanwhile, Twink is Not Green is busy trying to say that Matt and Ryan are cringe and wrong because they refuted the allegations.
Yeah.
And the video is incredibly bad. So publicly, the narrative starts to shift a little bit. I mean, people like Chud or me were on it pretty early. But now the SuperMega fandom and Twitter and Nick's audience are starting to turn on them. So you have people in the SuperMega subreddit, finding more stuff and being like, actually, what Lex and them are saying is a little sussy, right? And that would keep happening, and it would even happen in Nick Is Not Green's community, which now they're getting a lot of pushback for what they said. But
yeah, do you think are there any people coming out for Don, or is he still kind of like?
No, he's fucked. I mean, it's not like he defended himself in his Google Doc very hard anyway. He really just like took it laying down, and I mean, I don't know how much of it is his autism or what, but he did not defend himself really at all. And I don't know. I mean, he's got to defend himself. What am I going to do? It's his word versus hers. So maybe something happened. That's where I'm at.
Chat, if everyone listening, if you're dating someone in a Discord server, don't meet them IRL. Just don't meet them IRL. Don't go have sex with them. You're awkward. You go be awkward. Go find an awkward person like in your real life.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
It's not worth it.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
It's not worth it. I
mean, I don't disagree, but I got to think about that one.
The thing is, right, is that if I was Lex, there would have been red flags for me not to meet Don, right? So, for example, when they would hang out and play games and like e-date, right? Don wouldn't want to hang out alone with Lex, right? Which is odd because that's the person you're dating. Why are you ignoring them for like emotional?
Oh, wouldn't want to hang out. Wouldn't want.
Yeah, wouldn't want to.
Yeah, that is weird.
He would only hang out with Lex if it was in the public VC when he's gaming with the homies.
Yeah.
So she would just
BPD. I'm telling you, it's no, seriously, it's all of the I'm telling you, these I've watched these people for years, and like they surround themselves with people who are very fragile, and then they try very, very hard to work within whatever bounds that they care to work under, like socially. And it just creates like really awkward situations. And then this is why, like, I have no doubt that the people who are laying allegations, like, they believe it 100%. It's just because that's how they are. It's just that's what they're like.
I think this
it's real to them.
I think this Don dude obviously just wanted to fuck Lex, right? Like,
yeah, I think he just wanted to pipe. I think he was really enthusiastic about the idea of having a girlfriend who would wear like maid outfits and cat girl
he was
shit.
like, here's this cute e-girl with a ridiculous haircut. I think I got a chance to get in bed with her,
Yeah, but I don't think he was ever emotionally available, and Lex was trying to get that from him the entire time, and
it might be possible that he's just not emotionally available in general, right? He's just like not a very emotionally like that. I've seen a lot of people like that where they're just they're just not there, Autism.
I don't want to be that guy, but he's like fucking like 400 pounds. He looks like a Discord mod.
Okay, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. Why were they even? What was the attraction there for Miss Lex Updog?
I listen. Personal taste. I think Lex is a very pretty young lady. She dates the ugliest fucking men I have ever seen.
She's got to get a different haircut. That haircut.
Is it like, what is it? Clout? I mean, I don't know how much clout you get from.
I've seen like all of her exes by now, and like there's not much clout to go around. I guess Ethan is online as the cloutiest man she's had, but
I mean, is she getting a ring up on the ladder, or like is it?
By now, I'd say she has a ring up on the ladder, but I don't think it was that. I think she just lacks a lot of confidence.
Okay. Yeah, just like and I guess I think that I do see a pattern with some of these anime autistic girls who like date like not the best looking guy in the world, like the one from the TikTok,
right?
Who, they did the TikToks together, and she was like, "Look at my wonderful boyfriend."
Boogie.
Boogie, yeah. But the girl was like, "Look at my wonderful boyfriend. He's fat, but he's great." And then turns out he like abused her.
Yeah.
You look at Don. It was just like, this guy is he's not playing with the full deck of cards. Like, he's either like.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I've heard about Don is I think there was a podcast episode with Lex, Don, and then like a couple other people from SuperMega on there. I think I listened to a little bit of it, so I don't really know much about Don when it comes to personality. I'm just going by what you guys say. I trust your word. I see you as like the expert. I see a lot of these people like as experts when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not really interested in the social atmosphere of a bunch of people that do Let's Plays, right? I'm not, but so I'll take your word for it. Just the same way I would take your word for Lolly. If you were like, that's Lolly, I'd be like, I'm gonna say that's Lolly because that's exactly what Diesel said, and I'm going to walk far away.
What a thing to lay at Diesel's feet. Like, hey, you know what? You're the authority on Lolly.
Well, I mean,
he's the authority on that.
He's the one. He's the authority
on that.
You can't. You found the translation that turned Tipster's accusation into like I
was the shooter that killed Tipster.
Yeah. You got him in your crosshairs, and you fucking boom.
It was Diesel on the grassy knoll who put Tipster out of his misery.
Kaboom!
How did you get the bullet both sides of his jaw? I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, all right. All this stuff comes out. Now, there was a recent update, right?
Oh, bye, Mitch.
Bye, Mitch. Damn.
There was a recent update, right? Destiny has come into the mix, right? Turkey Tom got Destiny on to talk about on this stuff. So now Destiny's doing his thing, and now his audience is interacting with it. Is that changing things at all?
So that is finally, I think, pushing the needle in favor of SuperMega. If there's like a quote unquote side, I mean, I think there's stuff that SuperMega, as business owners, they did wrong, right?
Yeah.
But to say that they're like, I don't know, fucking a Weinstein XS collaborators is like a reach. And I'm glad like Destiny and Tom had that conversation because I felt like a crazy person because it was me, Chud, and Kristen Ark, and that was it. And nobody was fucking talking about it. And Nick is not green, and Ethan, and all these fucking yuppie losers, suburban white kids were all running off. Like they just destroyed this whole fucking career and business, and it was driving me nuts. So I'm so glad that it finally came back into the conversation.
Yeah, Tom went and was like, "Hold my beer. I want to get Destiny on this," and he did. He did it. I don't know if you watched that stream, but it was really fun seeing Destiny start to like interact with the whole drama and ask Tom questions. It was really surreal to see. And Destiny can be like that sleeping giant. Like he wakes up and then now all hell is breaking loose.
Yeah.
But the last update was Lex Updog put out something. She unlisted the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she edited the description. What exactly do you know what the editing was?
Okay. So what she did was when she made it unlisted, she had this like weird reach around statement. Shit, I don't have
do you actually have the link to it? I'll read it. If you have the link to the unlisted video,
Yeah. Hold on. I'll find it. Let me go find my gremlins.
I think it's I know I got it here somewhere. I just don't know where to go to find it.
Does the chat know that we're recording?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We did.
I was gonna say. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say this is normally where we all go silent and then we wait until we get the thing, but because we're on a live stream now, we've got to talk. And so, hi chat. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Anybody in Florida, please stay dry. I guess.
Yeah, I was actually kind of worried because I saw the hurricane was kind of going through my area, but it's not. So.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get a lot of rain. Good one, Corey.
True. Accurate. Real. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting bands of it now. It's not even raining right now. It was raining like a couple hours ago, but we'll see.
All right, there we go. All right, so I'll. Is there a part that it changes, or do I just read the whole thing?
Basically, there's the top paragraph is the
original,
so edit, and then everything else. Yeah.
All right, so edit. If you are reading this is now unlisted because it no longer needs to be up as it has served its purpose, which was getting my message to people that mattered to me after a long time of not having been okay. And two, the ability to talk about what had ultimately led to me being emotionally devastated for a very long time, affecting many important aspects of my life. Hence, part of why I spoke about the aftermath of the assault so much. when I was assaulted before, when I wasn't believed by my close friends, so being believed by them is the most precious thing I could ask for. I felt so relieved being able to know that people not knew why I wasn't acting like myself. I'm so thankful to be believed by so many, despite me going on for too long about too many different things. My perspective was that if I talked about so many things that no one could say something like Lex made this up because too many things happened that I couldn't have even dreamt of making up, rather than just being really vague about what happened. And doing that made my doing that things happened that I couldn't have. Oh, god damn it! And doing that made my sorry hard to understand for many giving people who have no reason to be charitable. Yeah, her grammar just kind of like
it's really bad. It's like long and rambly.
Yeah, and doing that made my sorry hard to understand for many. Giving people who had no reason to be charitable a reason to outright disbelieve me. It also doesn't help that I have had an individual around me who made this worse for me by taking my trust in them for granted by using it as a platform to say a lot of really not okay things while I was out seeing a movie. She's talking about Leighton right there.
She's talking about Leighton.
So she's turned on Leighton.
She's turned on Leighton.
Okay. I would have never talked if I knew something like that would happen because it has seriously made me regret saying anything despite the relief I felt prior. I generally didn't expect this to get as big as it did, and so this is almost also why I am unlisting the video as well. I very rarely upload to this channel. Check the other uploads. I use it as like a time capsule and place I upload long messages like life updates to archive them. And still don't, to be honest, really know how the YouTube algorithm works to know it would have blown up like it did. Being more familiar with the site now, I would have left it without comments and unlisted from the very beginning if I were more familiar with the website than I was before uploading this. I linked this video to my smaller Twitter account, closer tied with Don versus all my social media, thinking that the people on my Twitter were pretty much the main people that would have seen it. Many even, maybe even less. If you compare the views to my other videos, you can see why I thought this. My intention was to get my message about Don immediately completed and believed, and talk about what happened. After that, unfortunately, led to me see him again, which is what led to a lot of interpersonal chaos that I learned wasn't necessarily explaining in detail or even at all to be believed. I've always seen online that many things can lead people to not believe victims, and I felt so scared about not being believed that I thought it was more believable to mention more things than less, and hadn't considered it would have muddied the water instead. If some things I've said in this edit wasn't a tell, I've been feeling very introspective lately.
Oh, God.
And this situation's aftermath has made it obvious I have a lot to learn about in general, but especially having better judgment for myself, and in that I need to meet new people who won't take advantage of me because I can really gullible and think everyone has my best interest at heart, even in situations where I shouldn't. Well, I hope everyone has a nice day. If you see this and got to here, thanks so much for reading. Yeah, no problem, Lex.
Yay!
Thank you for writing this.
Yeah.
So she's turned on Leighton, and she's very introspective.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Bro, she's got rich parents' energy.
Yeah.
I started to suspect that too, right? Because she talks about how she's homeless and all this other crazy shit, and she buys like an expensive fucking Jeep that my stream and I like parsed out was around like $28,000 like used.
Well, what she lives in California? I mean, I just assume she's homeless. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everybody's homeless there.
Yeah, in California you can be like you can make $100,000 a year and still be homeless.
Yeah. Actually, some people do it on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, but she'd say shit like that, or she talked about how she couldn't believe her soft top Jeep got slashed and robbed from the inside using the tarp top.
Well, again, it's like, California. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing where it's like, why are you so fucking stupid? Like once, okay, but twice, are you serious?
Yeah.
It comes off as like I even had said it on my streams. It's like, listen, man, I've worked in like social services. I've seen like real homelessness, like fucking homeless people's feet. Those things. Whoa, buddy. Okay, so she wasn't homeless. She like was living in a cheap ass hotel room for like a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But she still had all the stuff she could do to make money. I mean, she could work from anywhere, but she chose to live in California. She did that deliberately.
Yeah. Diesel, where do you think this ends?
I think by now it's already come to its end, right? Because Nick is not green has gotten criticism exactly like this before, right? He'll get exposed for doing something wrong or covering something poorly, and he doubles down. And then he just doesn't address it. Ethan is online is irrelevant, so who gives a fuck what he thinks? Leighton is never going to work in this town again, regardless of what the answer to this was ever going to be. I think it's pretty much over. I don't know if SuperMega is going to have like the big blowout. Like they're finally vindicated. I mean, I guess if Turkey Tom uploads something on his main, maybe then they'd be finally vindicated. But right now, this is it.
Yeah, I'm still sitting here and I'm just like Rolodexing in my brain all of the different like things that have come up throughout the years. Now, a lot of those haven't been vetted or like brought back up or like really done by content creators. But I mean, I don't know. I can't help but feel like there's a sneaking suspicion. I have a sneaking suspicion that this won't be the end of it for some reason, that there will be some other like thing that will come up and that will be the death knell. Like that will be the thing that they actually get got on. I don't want to see SuperMega go. And I agree. This is a lot of these allegations are erroneous, but
well, they have that really like frat bro humor there, like whipping their cock out, or like the thing on the Leighton stream was about what's Chuck E. Cheese's middle name, which by the way, it's entertainment. It's not the N word, but
no, it's not.
Yeah. Does SuperMega go back to uploading or?
Well, that's what they said. I mean, they posted a video that was that said that they were going to be like taking a break, I guess, but they might come back is kind of the verbiage they were using. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It looks like things are kind of up in the air for them. They're probably, if I were them, and knowing them, I wouldn't be surprised if they put out a video in a couple months, maybe just to kind of like as a weather vane, just to see like, hey, is this going to work? Like, can we come back? Are people going to be receptive to this? It'll be interesting to see what happens to their like social blade over this time.
Yeah. I think they can come back from this. I think they'll be okay. It's just going to take a bit, but I think the important thing is they didn't hide anything. They didn't try to cover anything up. Whatever position you have on Dawn, whether you're Lyrics who thinks it's complete bullshit, Lyrics and Chud Logic think it's complete bullshit, and that she's pretty much lying or she's trying to exaggerate what actually happened, or whether you like someone like Michael Alberto who thinks like she was completely in the right. At the same time, SuperMega did not try to hide this, so I think it's wrong to want to like see their downfall. When in reality, your revenge, if you wanted revenge, was for a guy named Don who got let go. So your revenge was had the moment they let that guy go. You didn't have to go you didn't have to go like this. You didn't have to do this, and you did. And now you can go back to posting pictures of you in like lingerie with the Sonic ears, or like in front of your Jeep, or whatever else you want to do. But at the same time, like this, you did this, and you're gonna have to accept that you tried to do this one day when you start to gain empathy in your late 20s.
Period. Sorry, I just felt like
period.
I've been hanging out with Xylee too much. Yeah, I can't help it.
That's what happens with women. Women start to gain empathy like in their late 20s, and they start to realize, oh, look, all these people I fucked over when I was in my early 20s. I'm a horrible person. I'm really depressed now. I gotta go to the doctor.
I feel bad. I'm not going to apologize. I'm just gonna eat ice cream about it. Yeah.
Not all women. Women are lovely. Women are lovely.
Yeah, no, women. All women are queens. 100%.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I gotta be like a.
There's a couple sour apples.
Women now, right?
Yeah.
There's a few. Yeah.
As you always were. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I love women.
Yeah. No, I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean,
yeah. There's a couple sour apples, but at the same time, they're all pretty good.
Yeah, like that bitch Eve.
Yeah.
Fuck her. I mean, not. Yeah. Well, actually, don't. Actually, never mind. She was great too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot.
All right. Let's see here. Is there anything else that we missed, Diesel?
Jesus. I mean, I don't know. I could talk about this shit forever. Like, there's so much with it. Like,
well, okay.
Rav and all that, and. So I hate this fucking drama.
Let me ask you this then. What do you want to see come of this, or are we at that point already?
I think we're at that point already. I mean, ultimately, I would love for Twink is not green to lose all credibility he has, but that's not going to happen because his audience doesn't care like that.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, I'm just glad that people are finally starting to wisen up.
Did you see the story about Deaf Noodles told that where like Nick was trying to push him out of some sort of management deal that they were supposed to be?
Yeah, I heard about
together?
that.
Yeah. Allegedly.
I didn't hear about that. I don't know.
Yeah, Deaf Noodles tweeted about that. Showed some DMs. It was very interesting. Nick is not the nice guy he seems. I suspect. Like
no. Listen, he hangs out with Mr. Beard. I don't trust Twink is not green as far as I could throw him, but I mean, I could throw him very far.
Yeah, no, I don't trust any of these people that are like, yeah, that girl, you got to believe her no matter what because I believe her and that's my bias, but it's not biased because I believe her. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's circular.
In my head. Yeah. All right. So if that's everything, I think that's it for the recording. Chat.
Okay.
We're not ending live. We're gonna take callers soon, but we're gonna end the recording. And right here.
I really hate false allegations. False allegations that can ruin a company. Can leave people bankrupt. Can really put people in a bad way and make them.
Those who are bad with money are Joe aka Mr. Brain Yum Leah, K Huck, Strictly Patrick, Abby Blackbird, Echo of Tragedy, Reynold Hughes, Always Zero, Panic Pun, Everborn, Fanfiction Narrator, Ghost, Fresh Brew Ski, Mame, Stefan Corbino.
Thank you, Cor. You have a wonderful new voice. It really suits you.
Thank you, Stephen Hawking. Appreciate it. And remember, also shout out to our artists, our thumbnail artists, people like Purple Paw Prince, Cat, Mishi, all those guys. Craig Beckett, you're a real one. Craig Beckett, one up,
absolutely.
One love.
Miss you.
R.I.P. to your career. I hope you come back, my dude.
Yep.
And shout out to all you in the chat that were watching this whole time and watched this behind the scenes episode. Greatly appreciate that. Make sure to go watch it again when it's uploaded. And just remember now. Hey, Diesel, you want to say it?
Oh, it would be my honor.
Go for it.
And remember, now recording is always recording.
All right.
Wow, that was good.